Imagine the place you felt safest, warmest, the most loved. That place doesn't exist anymore. Resident Evil 4.
It is hard to overstate the enormous impact Resident Evil 4 has on the third-person action survival game genre. A game that deserves all the superlatives thrown its way over the past 12 years since it's been released on the GameCube. From the third-person over-the-shoulder perspective that influenced blockbusters like Gears of War to the dark, brooding villagers that bear an uncanny resemblance to the inhabitants of Yonham in Bloodborne, Resident Evil 4 has an incredible legacy. It has been released on nearly every platform many times over and is now available on the latest iteration of consoles in, for the most part, 60 first-person shooters and full HD graphics. Like any classic, be it a movie, a niece of lecture, or work of art, it has become timeless. A brilliant, superbly crafted video game is still relevant several years later. There are some cracks in the exterior, though the controls that at the same time bridge a gap between retro and modern eras are starting to show their age a little, and can feel awkward. A dependence on the D-pad with an excruciatingly slow turning circle and the ability to strafe feels like old design choices and will be totally alien to people who haven't experienced the game before. Like the original though, the control system begins to make sense as you get further and further invested in what the world has to offer, and begin to appreciate rigidity of Leon's movement helps to ramp up the tension in the overall game. There is nothing quite as blood-curdling as standing still trying to line up on a marauding enemy wielding a chainsaw while also trying to gauge whether there are enemies behind you too. You aren't given much time to familiarize yourself with the unyielding nature of the camera and movement, as right from the beginning you are thrust into high-stress encounter where you are quickly forced to learn the peculiarities of the controls. Within the first 5 minutes of play, you are treated to one of the many spectacular set pieces that riddle the entire game. It is the start of the exciting and consistently entertaining experience with brilliant pacing throughout the entire 15-hour adventure, but it is more than just an enjoyable ramp. It is masterfully crafted. As a player, you have total immersion in the environment. Enemies come crashing through doors, or you can kick the doors down to send the enemies behind them flying. In set pieces events, you can push items of furniture in the front of the doors and windows, or kick the ladders down from the height to stop enemies from following you, all to buy yourself precious seconds of breathing time. This may all seem trite now, but at the time it was revolutionary. The world feels expansive and gives the appearance of existing in real time. You will find yourself backtracking over it at different times of the day, opening new adventures, locating key items to unlock the next area. There are 3 core areas to navigate: the village, the castle, and the island, and each one feels distinct with its own personality and enemy types. The set pieces are huge and cinematic, which helps to lend more detail to the characters and story, as well as setting up the truly outstanding set pieces such as the standoff in the house with Louis and Leon. Louis and Leon a few hours into the village section. Every movement is exhilarating, even the movements of quiet and special, with environmental puzzles to solve that will challenge but never punish you. Then you have the boss battles, huge multi-stage monstrosities that bob and weave and encourage you to use the stage environments creatively to defeat them. Then there is the small, almost insignificant stuff like the beautiful animated reload animations for Leon's array of weapons. Each one has a unique animation, and it becomes clear that every single piece of this video game has been examined and designed for perfection. I feel I need a caveat here, in that Resident Evil 4 is one of my all-time favorite games. I have played it more times than I can remember, and I'm consistently delighted by it. That being said, it is hard to find anything truly negative to say about it. The controls are clunky and are showing their age. There are some slight frame rate drops when reloading either of the 2 long-range rifles Leon possesses, and the inventory management can make the battles a little staccato as you switch back and forth between the action and your suitcase to either heal or change weapons, but these are just minor niggles in the otherwise superb game. Resident Evil is a genre-defining classic that continues to surpass expectations 12 years on. If you haven't played it before and want to revisit this masterpiece, do it immediately. Resident Evil 4 gets a 10 out of 10. This is Red Wolf signing out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.